My business partner stole 3 years of my life, but I made sure karma delivered the receipt with interest. I met Dalton at a startup incubator. We both had tech backgrounds, and his idea for a project management app seemed brilliant. I had the coding skills, he had the business connections. Perfect match, right? Wrong. For 2 years, I worked 80-hour weeks building our platform from scratch. Dalton handled sales and investors while I lived on ramen, coding until 3 a.m. most nights. We split equity 50-50, had a partnership agreement, everything legal and clean. Then we landed our first major client, a Fortune 500 company worth millions in recurring revenue. I thought we'd finally made it. That's when Dalton showed his true colors. He called a meeting at a coffee shop, not our office. Then he slid papers across the table, essentially forcing me to either accept a 5% equity position or walk away with nothing, claiming some loophole in our contract about sweat equity recalibration. I was furious, but played it cool. But I wasn't thinking about accepting anything. I was planning. See, Dalton didn't know that I'd been documenting everything. Every late night email where he admitted I built the entire platform, every text where he promised equal partnership, every Slack message showing his minimal contributions. But my ace in the hole? I'd also discovered something interesting while reviewing our code repository. Dalton had been secretly meeting with our biggest competitor, TechFlow Solutions, trying to sell them our source code and client list. I found the email thread buried in our shared drive he thought was private. Idiot didn't realize I was the system administrator. Here's where it gets good. I contacted our Fortune 500 client directly, the one Dalton was so proud of landing. Turns out, he'd been lying to them too, claiming he built the software himself. I showed them my commit history, essentially a time-stamped record proving I wrote every single line of code. Then I filed a lawsuit for partnership agreement violation, attaching all my evidence. But the real nuclear option? I reported Dalton to the SEC for attempting to sell proprietary client data to competitors, complete with all his emails and messages. The fallout was spectacular. Our Fortune 500 client terminated their contract with Dalton immediately and hired me directly as a consultant at twice my previous salary. TechFlow Solutions, once interested in buying us, wouldn't touch anything Dalton related with a 10-foot pole. The SEC investigation triggered an audit of all his business dealings. Turns out, Dalton had been siphoning company funds into personal accounts. He's now facing serious legal charges. Our partnership is dissolved by court order, and I own 100% of the original intellectual property by judgment. I rebuilt the company solo, rebranded, and now have 4 major clients. Last I heard, he's working retail, drowning in legal fees, and blacklisted from every tech circle in the state. Sometimes, the best revenge is just letting someone bury themselves while you hold the shovel. What would you have done differently in my situation?